Hi friends, it's Allison. Welcome back to AJ's Inspired Life. Welcome back to my messy desk. Welcome back to, I still don't have all my voice left, so I do apologize. Friends, it's time to create my June journal, and I wanted to bring you along for the ride. Now, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, hopefully you're caught up on the video where I posted my item of the month for June. Now, this is just a challenge I started for myself in April where I choose an item that I'm going to use daily or on every day of my journal, right? And so the item of the month for June is stencils. And I hit like an automatic, like I I have just been very resistant to it. I'm not going to lie. So it's interesting that so many of you posted like, yay, stencils. We're so excited. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm really having this like kind of reaction to it. It's interesting. And so this is exactly why I created the challenge for myself. It's because I want to get out of my habits, if you will, or needing to do things only one way. And I'm very concrete in my thinking, as I've shared before, oftentimes. And I kind of put stencils in this box of, well, one, planning, because I used to use like some stencils in my planners. But if we're talking about journaling, I really use stencils like for art journaling, like on a jelly plate or on big, pieces of paper, or just like where it's like labor intensive almost. So that impacts my journal, right, for June. Like, what am I going to do for my journal for June? So with all of that being said, I really played around with looking through my papers, and I have for the last multiple months just gone with scrapbook paper and trying to use up, I mean, it'll never happen, friends, I'm just saying, but trying to use my stash of scrapbook paper. And a lot of them are one-sided, which means they're blank on the other side, right? And so I really thought that I would maybe still use my scrapbook paper, but of course I'm looking at pieces right now and they're all two-sided. I really thought I would use my scrapbook paper, but like on the other side, it would be blank. And here is a perfect example. This is a perfect piece for June. And so if I were to, use this in a journal, obviously this side is blank. Now this is beautiful. On the months we don't want a heavy cardstock, right? This is a month where I would think I do want a heavier cardstock, not super heavy, but not super light paper, because for me, stenciling means like an ink or a spray or something like that. So I really played around, and now this makes my heart hurt because I want to use this piece of paper. So we may still find a way. But anyway, so I really toyed with the idea of still making my journal with scrapbook paper, knowing that, well, one, I could alternate in some plain paper, or obviously most of the time, I mean, this is what we complain about, right? Not complain, but you know what I'm saying, comment or whatever, and kind of work around. Right? If we're going to make a journal out of this, then, you have, you know how we make journals. Obviously, these are beautiful papers from the paper loft or paper. Yeah. As we make our journal, it would have a blank side. And for usually it turns out that you have like a pattern paper and then over here. And so I really thought, maybe that's what I want to do, because I still want to use my scrapbook paper. And then we would still have some blank canvases to work on with stencils and that sort of thing. But the more I thought about it, the more I got concerned with, am I going to be able to kind of work around whatever this pattern is over here? Because there's a color component. There is already a pattern component if we're going to do anything over here. So I then decided, you know what, it's easier for me to use white paper. plain paper, right? Now this is an old pad. You can see like coffee stain or whatever on it. I don't even know. It's not that great a paper, but it would do the trick. And we could just, I don't know if I've ever made a journal with just white paper. I literally don't know. And then I have this fabulous sheet of like baking paper, which I thought would be super fun. And I thought, we'll alternate maybe some white paper and some baking paper to add some texture and whatnot. So if we're going to do that, then I'm like, well, kind of what size do we want? I have a piece of washi here is what I have to kind of hold this together here. It's not doing a very good job if I can't get it. Do you see the little paw prints they're holding? Okay. So I have this outside of a comp book, and I thought that would be an easy outside of a journal, right? We just put some paper in here. We could cut it down. So that's one option. The other option is I do have these, what were these? File tabs. They're not folders. They're from Target. They were obviously in the dollar section. I mean, years and years ago, right? So I don't know if any of these really speak to me for anything, quite frankly. These aren't quite my colors, but we could easily make a journal. I mean, that would be a fun journal, right? Put some white paper in it and call it a day. This could be the inside or the outside if we wanted to cover this. Like, we could still incorporate, we could use the white paper on the inside and we could still incorporate, right, some paper like this on the outside. And that would be a fun journal. So I thought that's an easy option. So if you have like these are not folders, they're just divider tabs, file dividers, for a notebook, obviously. This one's kind of fun. It's kind of gold and, I don't know. So that was kind of the option there. And I really kind of like this size. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. But then I did go through my pile of journals, which I have, which we also still need to use, friends. We need to go through our stash, use our stash of all the crap Allison already bought, okay? And I'm never going to be able to use it all. So these are 2 journals I grabbed. Now, I have many more, a lot of which are lined, and I tend to hold those. I don't really use those for my daily journal. I tend to use those more for my process journal, and that's just a separate thing. And it takes way less energy to choose and everything. I just grab one and go. So as I'm looking at this, these are both Denick brand, I think from Joann's. Some of you will remember more than I. This I want to say was like in a set. It's got a nice plasticky kind of feel to this outside. I will be honest and tell you this is not my jam for colors, although it looks a little bit like water, so I could make it work for June. I would probably end up covering it. It has over 35 pages. It's about 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. This is close to 6 by 9 that I kind of tend to journal in, right? We are close on this size right here. It's got it's beautiful and sewn in, and the paper, I don't know anything. I don't know how to define the paper. Like, it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me anything about the weight of it or anything, but it's okay, right? I think it would handle some stuff. I think it's similar to maybe this white pad. The other one I pulled is this beautiful sketchbook. Now this journal has my heart. I absolutely love it. I love the feel of the cover. It's a semi-hard cover. I mean, not rock hard because you could bend it, you know, a little bit, but it's beautiful. I don't know, but this book is one way too many pages. I'd have to take out, I mean, literally most of it. I feel like it has, I mean, multiple signatures sewn in here or glued in here or whatever. We would have to deconstruct this. And this book is pretty big. Oh, it's sewn in. So again, very quality. This paper is really nice. Like this would handle anything I wanted to do to it. We're looking at almost 7. 6 3/4 by 9. So a little bit bigger than we're used to working in every month. Huge giant spreads, which quite frankly, I don't really need right now. I got to be honest. So I'm kind of trying to keep that in mind also. So I'm going to rule this book out, but I do really love it. So I'm trying to think of really like, how would I like to use this book? So it's going back in the it's going back in the pile of journals that need to be used. So now we're down to this, basically. I don't feel like I need to use this comp book cover and like cut it down and everything. I feel like this could work. I would probably, I mean, I would probably fold it a little differently and give myself a little bit of a binding here because I know my journals are fat, but I still feel like this could work. So that being said, I don't feel like I need this. So I'm going to, say goodbye to that. So if we were going to use this guy, let's just play with it for a second, shall we? I went ahead and folded it, but we didn't need to. I don't even know how to, I have my big scoreboard here and I was just going to try and score some lines on here for you. If I go either side, I'm literally eyeballing this. You can just see I'm taking the fold that's in it and I'm going to either side of it and using the crease that's already in my cutting board and I'm just going to score it that way. Okay. So if I were to do that, we would get, and we would reinforce it because, yeah. Oh, I just cut through it. Do you see that? Which is fine too. I mean, I would reinforce it, but we would have something that looks like that. Okay. So yeah, well, that's kind of fun. And if we folded it like this way, because I'm not big on the pink, you guys, I'm not big on the colors at all, because I'm thinking I'm going to cover it anyway, right? So we'll refold that line. We could put some Tyvek tape on it. I really like actually that it already has like a divider thing up here. I know that's silly, obviously, because we could make that in a heartbeat, but I just think it's kind of cute. Yeah, so now where are we at? Now it's a little bit taller. We're close to 5 1/4, honestly. 5 1/4, 8 1/2. So that's kind of fun. Again, I would just play with this a little bit, get it to do what I want it to do here. If we were to cut this paper out, we would have to cut it down just a bit. I would just cut the length off of it. I would not mess with it. We have a little bit of wiggle room in here. We could drop it down to this bottom edge. Or we could cut the file folder down, the divider down if we wanted to. Or I could just eyeball it and put that paper right in the middle. Right? I don't know. It's actually kind of fun. So we could, I don't know, we could play with this and we could play with this. but okay, my other thought with this is, quite honestly, if I made this way, I could leave it loose. I could almost use it as like a kind of a flow journal or a traveler's notebook. I could just tie in the sheets, which would allow me, I wouldn't have to sew them in, and I could, then when we get to that page, I could pull it out and work with it. So I'm kind of really liking that concept. But I think after all of that was all a conversation in my head that I've had with myself prior to bringing you here. I love this paper. I want to definitely use this next month, for July. And I think this is going to make a craft avalanche, craft-alanche. I think we're going to use this journal. I mean, when else, right? Like I need to use my stash. This is the perfect month to do it. I really want blank pages. And so I think this is the perfect month to do it. Now, I do think I need to take out some of these pages, and I feel like I've already done that. Maybe I haven't. I don't know how many it started with. We only need 30 plus the back calendar, so like we could take out some of these like this. And I don't know, I think we're just going to have to rip them out like that. There's our June journal. I'm going to use it. Now, I don't think I'm going to keep this cover. Like, I'm going to keep the cover, but I think I'm going to cover the cover, okay? And all of this, like either with scrapbook paper or paper we're going to make, whatever, I don't know. So I think this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to bring you along. That decision's been made. I will recount the pages. I'll bring you along. But I wanted to show you my stencils. And so I think this is the time to do that because I had to get them all out. And I have lots to work with. Now, when I already told you, when I pulled the prompt, I was like, oh gosh, this is not the prompt I wanted this month. And I thought, the easiest thing I could do, honestly, would be to, well, quite frankly, get a bunch of sheets of paper like this and either jelly plate them or just stencil them and then fold them all into a journal. That would be the easiest thing for me to do and just be done with the month. But that's not necessarily like my intention with the challenge. And so I thought to myself, I'm not going to choose that option. It's perfectly fine if you do that. It's perfectly fine if I do that. I'm just choosing not to. So I'm going to show you the stencils I have. Now, these I just happened to eyeball the other day. I never use these. I think I've used this one maybe, but it doesn't matter. I did get them probably at Goodwill or whatever in different purchases. But they're stencils. These are stencils. Now, a stencil is anything that creates a shape that you push a design through, basically, right? You could spray this. You could pen it. Right? So, I mean, we could stencil letters on our journal and that would be your stenciling for the day, either with marker or whatever. That's a weird A, but you get what I'm saying. Or you could spray it, ink it, do whatever. So I do have some rulers here. So I don't know if we'll use them or not, but there's where we're at. So on the idea of it could be anything, I've definitely used this before. This is a, like a game tile, like from one of my kids' games, and the little cards punched out for, I don't even remember for what game, but you can see I've pushed paint through here to get a stencil, right? So we could we could do stenciling with this. That's an option. Same exact thing here. Now these two, quite frankly, haven't been used that much. I had two of each. So the other ones I think are ruined with paint, and whatever they're cardboard, they don't last very long. Okay, definitely an option. This is one of my favorite stencils. It's a headband, like from the dollar store. And I absolutely love it. It's rubber. It used to be my daughter's. And I absolutely love it. So that's a fun stencil. Now, I also have, you know, stencils. These are like a recent batch I bought for my bee journal. So these are all like kind of bee themed. These are all stencils. I mean, I guess I'm not doing a good job of showing you. Again, Carrie got my joke last time, but you know what I'm saying. I'd be fired at QVC. Okay, B. Okay. So even if we're just going to count, I mean, I have more than one a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one's a bunch of little ones. 7. This one's one of my favorites. I haven't used it. 7, 8. Really fun. Now, these were all super cheap, I think, off of gosh knows what website these days, right? These are very flimsy. Who cares? We're using them for ink. I haven't used any of these. You can tell the set's brand new. Leaves. Little similar leaves. I don't know. Kind of like corner thing. So this is why I wanted blank paper, because if I had, again, even if it was blank on one side and this was on the other side, right? I can't do that. Like I would have to make these navy, or you could definitely pop these in here and add some navy bubbles. It was too much for my brain. It was too much for my brain. And I'm totally avoiding making a journal now because it has to fit into a certain whatever, right? So I have lots of little ones. We'll stop counting because, well, I lost count. So, right? Look at the fun zebra. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that's that. This is a fun set I bought a while ago. I think it's coming up. It's honestly a wall set. And I cut it into pieces. But look how fun that is to paint. And again, this is more like what I've done with like art journaling. Again, I don't know another way to explain it. Like just when you're making huge pieces, you know, that you then can cut up. Okay, this is a template, but this would be a stencil. We could draw some lines through this. This is actually a sewing template, but it would work as we could journal in these lines or do whatever we want there. Here's some more small, here's some more small ones. Here's another honeycomb, which I've used. Some more bees. Like some of these I'm never going to use. Like I'm never going to use that. Probably never going to use this until now. Now this is supposed to be honey. All I see with this is blood. Okay, I have to be very honest with you. All I want to do is either green slime this or red blood this for Halloween. I have a hard time making this honey, and I absolutely love it as blood or goo, right? Super fun. This one I'm not in love with. Same thing here. And then I have some, I guess, mandalas, a set of these somewhere that came in. I have a rainbow-ish, right? I don't know what else to call that. We'll call them rainbows. Here's like a scallop. I don't know how well you can see those, but you get the gist. Okay, what else do I have? Oh, I have a fun girl. She's fun. Never used her. Like really, I don't know. Okay, here's a little folder thing I made that, That's fun. We'll get that out and use it. All right, we're not even into the box yet, friends. We're not even into the box. Okay, here is a butterfly that we got at the thrift store for 50 cents. Here's more of that wallpaper one. So these geographic designs, see, I cut it up. So again, whether you went in here with marker or spray, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time doing this. I just, again, kind of felt like I needed flat pieces of white paper, which is why I was going to go with a design like this, but we're going to be fine. This one's stunning. Love it. This is that same wall one. Look at those fun leaves. Here is, oh gosh, this is one of my favorites. Absolutely love this. I've used it quite a bit. Love the grid. Here's a fun rainbow from Simple Stories. Here's a fun flower that we've used quite a bit. All right, then I have some more what I would call journal ones. I don't even know. I think some of these I've never even used. I got it. Here's a block alphabet one. I'm going to make a separate pile maybe for letters. This is a fun alphabet one. This one was one for like painting like signs. I don't know. Don't ask me. Butterflies, hearts, and triangles. This is why I did the challenge, because I have stuff. I have more stuff than you're ever going to need. Words. Oh, I have more words somewhere. This is a really fun one. I do love this one a lot. It's like a fan, maybe-ish. I just see like a giant Coco Cabana hat type thing coming off of a fun lady. I don't know. I love that one. There's also old stencils. Like this is considered a stencil, or could be, right? We could put this on our page and we could draw or paint or whatever and use these as stencils, okay, to get outlines for journaling. Here's a fun one. Look at this. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Here is a pack. I don't know why. I mean, I do know. I do know why I put them back, but I would probably use them more if I didn't put them back in their plastic, but we'll... The filigree leaves. This one's stunning. Roses. See, so this is where even now I'm like, oh shoot, I should just look at the seaweed. Oh, I love this so much. Even now I'm like, I should just use plain paper and stencil, because I don't know if it's going to go through. I don't know, but we're going to look at this one. Gosh, I love this so much. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And look at this one. Be Still My Heart. This is one of my favorites. All right, so I'll just put that down like that. And here is some little pages that I want to use this month. This could be a stencil. This was obviously the inside of a glove, like from Halloween or something. This could be a stencil. Again, you could put it up here and make it kind of like goopy blood or something. If you wanted to, you could do a hand. I don't know why. I mean, I know why it's missing a thumb, but like it could be a stencil. We'll put it in the weird stencil pile. We're not even halfway. This was a stencil thing that I found at Goodwill at max. It was $6. I don't know. These are giant wall ones. That's where that kit, I was showing you the kit of them, right? So it's got an elephant, some dots. Some of these are the ones I already cut up. Some of them I sent out pieces in Happy Mail. Look at this. I mean, really fun. These are big pieces though, like big art, right? So I keep those in there. Let's see. Okay. I have more. This was 50 cents. I can't remember if like more came in here or not. I don't remember, but here's some pluses and a fun leaf one. I'm just going to pile them up for now. Here's some more leaves. Again, thrift store, right? Leaves, thrift store. Oh yeah, I got all these at the thrift store. Look at this, you guys. This is why. This is why. And I have to use them. Look at this, 50 cents. Dots, dots. Dots, dots. Someone was very organized. I remember opening this. This was all in an envelope entitled Circles. These were all someone's stencils for circles. Yeah, so we'll... Oh, you guys, it's too much. It's too much. I'm embarrassed, like, to show you even. This is good for me, my hoarding. All right, look at this one. Is that not fabulous? I literally don't know what it says. I don't know what it says, but that's one of my favorites. I would actually probably run it that way just for fun. These are words. They were in the Word file. This one is kind of like background that way. Fun. And this one says, let's go around the world on an adventure, like it's kind of typed. But we could stencil this and we could cut out some stuff and kind of do some poetry, like with our own words if we wanted to. So I'll do that. Here's another circle. Here is some, I'm not taking them out. I mean, they're all in these plastic folders that she had them in, like 4 different designs on that one. Here is faces, it looks like. Again, I've never used these. Oh, and people, faces and people. Again, this is really mixed media stuff, you guys. I don't actually do that. This is a pretty one. Okay. And oops, and I smushed one in my drawer, I see. Okay. This one's fun. Again, a hexagon and a triangle. Look at this one. I love the Dilution stuff. Look at this one, you guys. Again, borders, and I got it for 50 cents. Look at that. Now, I'm in love with this. That might be our cover. That might be our cover. We'll find a way to do it. Now, this one is like ruined. I'm going to have to flatten it. This is one piece. It was 4 times this big. It was a giant wall one. And I've obviously used it, but I could probably flatten it out. Love it. So that's fun. Okay. Oh, here's another piece of it. Here's another corner of it. Really fun, right? Love it. All right. Now, one of the other things that I love to stencil with, is paper. Now, this is just a piece of scrapbooking paper, but I use this all the time to stencil. And all you have to do is cut a piece of it, and then you have like a piece to play with and stencil. And this piece is extraordinary. I'm sure I got that one at the thrift store. I have another one that I've played with quite a bit. Okay, here's one of my favorite things. Now, I still have a project in the garage that I made, and I'm going to send it out to some of you. I almost did it like 2 years ago. This is a placemat. And I cut it up and used pieces of it as a stencil. Okay, super fun. You can use whatever you want as a stencil. Here's some leaves. All right, here is one of my favorite stencils of all time. I forgot what I had to do. I told myself I have to do whatever, and I did it, and I rewarded myself with this stencil. I absolutely love it. I don't know what it is. It's really one of my favorites. I have a few that are my favorites, and that is one of them. Here's some little ones. Here's like, what do you call this? Houndstooth, maybe? I don't know. This is another one of my favorites. The Tim Holtz Sunrise or something. Absolutely love it. I had to reward myself with both of those. But these have gotten lots of use, and they're delightful and yummy. Oh God, it's bad, you guys. It's bad. Here's stars. Circles. More. This is a chicken wire, like a coop for like card making. This was card making days. Here is a card template, but you could use it as a stencil. Here's the background of like punch outs. Really fun stencil. I love using stuff like that. It's just the leftover, you know, all the chipboard was in here. Love that. Here's a fun border, stars, hearts, flags. All right, here's a piece of something that, what did I do? I cut this out of vellum, I think, and glued on a piece of paper so I could hold it. I don't know, made a stencil with that. Okay, this is one of my favorite stencils. This is a sink mat that goes in the bottom of the sink. It's from the dollar store. It still has the tag on it right here. I've used these for quite a few things, one of which is a stencil. I also cut them into strips and I use them in my drawers as dividers this way, but this one is in my stencil drawer because that's a fun stencil. We're not even making a dent in my drawer. Okay, 36 minutes. I'm going to go faster. Here's another piece of paper. But again, what fun. What fun. I might leave that out as possible cover. I really like the first one a lot. This is another piece of paper, right? So super fun. Just cut a piece, spray it, do whatever you want as a stencil. Love that. All right. Let's see. We have some cameras. And we have some, I don't even know what, space flowers maybe. These are amazing. Tracy Balzer Designs. Is it just, it's, oh, Julie, sorry. Julie Balzer. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, here's another, this is another piece of paper. Again, you can see it's just the corner. Love this. So any of you with like a Cricut thing, or like I have an old Cricut, but if you cut paper or designs and you have a mess up, or like, that's a beautiful stencil. Beautiful. Again, anything can be a stencil, quite frankly. Here's another little sewing thing. Here's some chipboard. Those are fun to stencil with. Oh, we're going to have fun. See, now I'm getting excited. I just had to decide what I was doing with my life. There's another sewing one. Here's some hearts I cut out. And spray that, and that's a fun stencil. Here's more of that placemat. Here is part of a placemat or felt butterflies from the Dollar Tree. I can't remember, right? Here is a sewing rug kit. Rug, you know, those latch rugs or whatever you make. Beautiful stencil. Beautiful stencil. Cut a piece, get a really fun design on here. Super fun on the jelly plate as well, right? Okay. Here we go. These are some of the smaller ones that you'd use like in journaling, art school people, whatever, right? All these old stencils, like for smaller designs. So we might do some work with those. Here's a small, oh, you guys, it just keeps coming. Okay, here we go. This one, oh, look at these. Okay, fabulous. Again, Julie Balzer. Dilutions flowers. Dilutions dots and flowers. This is fun because it's actually a corner. Like it's made for a corner. Love that. Here is some letters and kind of lacy. Here is some more circles. So this will be fun for me and good. I need to go through all these and put them like all the circles together, not just how I bought them. These are stunning. Look at the stars. Oh my God, I love it so much. That's amazing. Here's more circles. Here is more stars. I don't know why I have so many stars. They obviously came in a pack. I feel like we're giving some of these away. Okay. So anyway, stars. Here's another Dilutions. Never been used. Like never been used. I don't remember buying it. I don't know if I got it at Goodwill. Never been used. I know what I didn't do, and that's pay full price. I can promise you that, friends. Except for those like 2 or 3 that I mentioned. Okay, this is the same thing. This is a dish thing for the bottom of your sink. This is a beautiful stencil. I love it. You can see it's got ink all over it, but love that. Super fun. A little bit on my hands. This is what? I don't know. Oops, there's one on the bottom. I don't know what this is. It could be a dish mat. I'm not too sure, but same idea. Plastic mat, right? Super fun stencil. All right. Here's a little tiny star that I cut out of a vellum bigger piece. I'm not too sure, but there's that. Yep. Here's a bigger one. Here's some hearts. This is old school. Here's old school hearts. Old school stars. This is like old school scrapbooking from 2000, probably the year 2000. Tags. So these are more stencils like to cut, I guess, but you could spray them and I don't know. Again, oh gosh, look at the fish. I feel like that's a mermaid tail maybe. This is more stars. I know. These are windows, like more squares. A fun paper one for frames. Frames, oval frames, square frames, dots. Fun journaling lines. Oh God. Okay. Whoops. Here's another fun piece of paper. Absolutely love that. Here's a fun person. A metal person. I don't know, friends. I don't know. Okay. Here is a rainbow one. Here's a bird. And here is some, these are scrapbook design pages. So that might be fun. We might be doing some of that. Here's more hearts. So see, you can tell I've just stenciled and, okay. Circles. Whoops. They're stuck together. This is a game piece card. It had pieces in here and that you can tell I've used quite a bit. More circles and a scalloped edge. Look at the clockwork. I love this one too. I may have paid price for that. I may have paid full price. This is a line one, which is fun. A ruler edge. Here's another game piece one. Love that. This is the other one I probably paid full price for. I wanted it forever. And I actually broke it, and I don't care. I still love it. Kind of that same sunburst thing. Here's another piece of paper. Here is another piece of paper. Here's another square. It goes with that other set. Like a scrapbook page of journaling squares and whatnot. And you'll be happy to know we're almost to the bottom. Here are some beautiful, like filigree. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, come on. Okay, so that's almost it. Let's see. We have a couple more random pieces here. And I have a couple more random sets that come in things like this. Now, these came from Michael's, again, in my planner days. And they have all sorts of little sets in here. This is like a fitness set, yoga, weights, right? Some of these I've given away. These have some words. All right, so that's one set. All right, here is months and some borders and some flowers. And here is days of the week and some letters, words. Yeah. There it is. There is the reality of my stencil situation. So I'm going to take some time to go through these and organize them somehow that makes sense to my brain. Like I said, all the circles together, all the squares together, and figure out what we want to do. I have some ideas, what I'd like to do. So I'll bring you along how I'm going to set up the journal itself. But that's what we're working in, folks. I'm going to get the pages where I need them, and we're going to be working in this little journal. I am going to cover it. I hate this cover, but we're going to be working in this size, which again is a little bit smaller. But again, I don't need crazy big pages. I would like it because that's what I'm thinking I need to do these giant stencils and big artwork and all of it. But I don't need that. Like, I went to work today. I came home and ate soup, and I'm filming this, and I'm going to hang out with my boy. Like, I don't need giant pages that take more time to do all of this, right? So we're going to do it. We're going to use our stash, not only the stash of stuff that we bought already, but our stash of things to use in it. And we're going to start June, and we're going to use our stencils. All right? I hope you're coming along for the ride. Let me know your thoughts. Be gentle. Kind words. But this is exactly why I wanted to do this monthly challenge, because I wanted to get out the things that I don't normally use. I haven't used these in a very long time because I don't think they are for your daily journal. So I'm proud of myself for trying something that's a little uncomfortable. I know it's uncomfortable because I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to use stencils. And so I'm going to do it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. This is not normally how I journal at all. Right. And the safe thing to do would have been to get out some pieces of paper, put these large stencils down, spray it all, and fold them up and make a journal. Now that obviously is still doable. And yeah, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Okay. Cause I mean, most of these I could lay down, like, right. We would just lay this down over this whole page this way and spray it that way. So it's completely doable. This one has my heart though. I want to make a cover, and use it, not use it, but as a stencil, right? I think it's stunning. So, oh gosh, guys, that's it. Here we go. It's June. Let's go. Okay. Tell me what you think. Tell me, like, have you ever used, just cutouts like this, or the kitchen mat, or other trash type things for stencils? Because I love those. I literally, again, my favorite one. It's hard, right? These are all, but I love this one as a stencil. Now, no, I can't. I have to keep it as a stencil because I was going to say I could use it in Junk Journal July, like almost as a band for the journal, right? You could use it. It would be really cute. It'd be really cute as a journal band. It might get used one day like that. It already has the holes and everything. You could just, oh God, that's cute. Okay. Even on this cover, which I don't actually like. So that's how much cuteness that is. All right. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're trying it out. Let me know what your thoughts are on the monthly challenge, and let me know what your thoughts are on stencils and how you're planning to use them this month. Believe me, I could use the tips, okay? Because this is a lot going on. So, all right, I hope you're well, and I hope you're creating, and I hope you find something today that inspires you. Take care.